Why did we get married in Tokyo?
What was it like?
How much was it? We're going to answer all of these questions. But first, do you want to see our wedding video?
Fire on your back, sky painted black, gas in the turns, fireflies burn. Tiptoeing time, falling behind, losing your way, learning to pray, brilliant parade, blind masquerade, waltzing in place, weaving through space. Flashes of light, season the night, living is like chasing fireflies. Twist and approve, turning from youth, laughing and fade, swinging too late, loosening lips, lost battleships, fighting the lies, burning inside, flashes of light, season the night, living is like chasing fireflies. A gallery of could-be's, a library of should-be's, a destiny of would-be's waiting at your door. The mystery of maybes, a history of save me's, a risk we're taking, waiting at your door. Flashes of light, season the night, living is like chasing fireflies. Flashes of light, season the night, living is like chasing fireflies. Fire on your back, sky painted black, gas in the turns, fireflies burn.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed our wedding video.
Our cameraman did such a great job, but I know it leaves so much questions.
Yeah, so that's why we want to jump into a lot of parts of our wedding. We want to break down our process, we want to break down what the experience was like, and tell you obviously how much everything cost. So the idea is that you can learn from our journey, and maybe it'll help you out with planning your own dream wedding in Tokyo. So why Tokyo?
We decided on Japan because we wanted to experience deep Japanese culture.
Yeah, very good. So we chose the Hiei Shrine or Hiei Jinja for the actual wedding ceremony, and then we had our reception party at the ANA IHG Tokyo. So this place is in the heart of the city in Minato, I think, and you know you really did feel like you were in the center of everything. So you know I think that being in Minato. Everything just had a really premium feel to it, and I think if you wanted to do the same wedding, say in Dubai or maybe even in London, you'd probably pay like 3 times the money.
Planning a wedding abroad can be really scary, but that's doable. Our first step was to set up online meeting with planners and the venues.
Yeah, we had quite a lot actually. I think we spoke to like, crikey, 7 people, yeah. So because we couldn't really visit the places physically, we had to rely quite a lot on these online meetings. We were quite set on having our wedding during the cherry blossom season or sakura season, which is like a really popular time just to go to Tokyo, let alone have a wedding. So we actually booked like a year in advance, didn't we?
Yep, because it's going to be booked. Yeah. So while each venue has their own planners, we explored the freelance options as well, like freelance planner. But we realized it's really way more complicated and more expensive.
Yeah, nightmare, right? So we actually ended up going with like a hotel wedding package, right? Basically what you do is like, so we went with the Intercontinental, and they put together everything, right? So, you know, your food, the venue, music, blah, 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 blah. And it just made the whole thing really easy. So it sounds like a bit of a weird thing. Like in the UK, I guess, you know, a lot of the time people will sit down with a wedding planner. So it's probably quite a foreign concept, but you know, it was so easy, right? Like we both work full-time jobs. You know, although we did a lot of like planning, I can imagine it would have been a lot worse if we were just going through everything with the freelance option as well. So definitely check out the hotel wedding packages if you're interested with some of the big brands.
Yes. Here's the biggest question. How much did it all cost? Prices can change, but here's a rough idea of how much we paid for our wedding.
Yeah, right. So, look, for the, sorry, I've just got my list here. So for the core wedding elements, right? So that's the shrine fee, the hotel wedding package, you know, all the clothes and makeup, and obviously the video. We budgeted about 65,000 dirhams, or roughly $17,500, right? That sounds really expensive, but like honestly, I think in Dubai you'd be getting married in like McDonald's for that, right? You know, it's really important to note that doesn't actually include our hotel and flights, but I think that's really tough to kind of get a compass on, because it really depends on where you stay in Tokyo, and obviously how far you're coming from, right? So here's the breakdown of what everything actually cost us, yeah? So the shrine ceremony fee, so that includes like the use of the shrine, the priest time, the shrine musicians, and the maidens, right? Which are like you know, these girls are all kind of like dressed up, and they kind of take you through the ceremony and purification and stuff. That cost about 6,500 dirhams, or in dollars 1,700, right? Then you have the reception party. And that was actually probably the biggest expense. Like it is crazy how much the food costs, right? Just like, you know, I mean the food was really nice, don't get me wrong, but
6-course menu.
Six course menu, yeah, but it's bloody expensive, you know. we had that all came to 28,000 dirhams, or $7,600, and I guess that can vary depending on the kind of food that you have. And you know, the level of service, but we went for a fairly basic menu. Like there were loads of options like lobster and wagyu beef and stuff like that, but we kept it relatively simple, and we're glad that we did, you know. So then you have the attire, right? So you have like kimono rental, you have hair and makeup. This was also pretty expensive, but you know, we did have some like beautiful kimonos. You know, Maria looked like absolutely stunning, right? And then I was like the last samurai, so like I'm dressed up in a hakama. And also for the actual reception, we had a wedding dress and a morning suit. So that set us back like 16,000 dirhams, and in dollars that's 4,360. So pretty pricey, but I think worth every penny. And then you have like the photographers and the videographers. So our amazing professional video and photos set us back about 8,800 dirhams, or $2,400. And then on top of that, like you have the service charge. You know, I'm always really upset when I see this at a restaurant, but honestly, we had like an army of like really professional kind of Japanese waiters and translators, and they were absolutely fantastic. And that set us back like 5,700 dirhams or $1,550, which is crazy cheap for what it was, right? So all in,
for our Turkish shrine wedding experience was about 66,000 dirham.
yeah, or $17,400.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were only like 1,000 dirhams over budget, which I think for anyone that's planned a wedding or anyone that's kind of that's planning one currently, you can understand how difficult it is to stay within a budget. So, you know, I think that comes to all of the upselling and stuff. So, you know, my top tips on saving money, right? Fake flowers, right? Your best friend.
Yeah.
I don't actually think people cared that much about the flowers. You know, the other thing as well is just generally getting upsold on stuff. You know, like you know, candles, or you know, I think we were even being told to consider a special ribbon tied around our cake cutting knife, right? And I'm just like, it's a knife. I just want to cut the cake and take a ridiculous sized bite, right? So you know, I think at the end of the day, your friends and your family, they're mainly going to be focused on you, you know. So try not to sweat the little things.
Yeah, 100%. Our wedding day was really magical and passed so quick. It was so weird. All of my friends from different generations was in all one place and celebrating for me.
Yeah, it was really amazing, you know. You know, we had being at the hotel was really convenient. So we had a kind of a salon type thing. So for all of our friends and family, if they needed to get ready or change or anything like that, all the facilities were available. When we also just kind of organised taxis for everyone to get to and from the shrine, which was only like 5 minutes away. You know, when we got to the shrine, obviously we had some kind of like photos and stuff like that. But what was the biggest surprise was that when we actually got through to the kind of inner sanctum of the shrine, there was a huge drum, like a drum the size of like a car,
10 meters.
a huge, they call it a taiko drum in Japan, and you know, it was like thunder. You could really feel it kind of coming through your chest, and that kind of purified the air in the shrine for us to, you know, get married. The procession from the priest and the shrine maidens was just magical, you know. Yeah, you know, after the shrine, we went back for our reception, and in true Dubai fashion, the unlimited Moët Chandon
Yeah.
champagne
Everyone.
certainly kept the vibe alive. So it was all over just too quickly.
Yeah. If you're planning a destination wedding or shrine wedding or Tokyo wedding, here is our tips.
Yeah, 100%, right? So I think the biggest one for me in Japan is get a hotel package, right? You know, I know it's the best day of your life, but not everyone has kind of a, you know, has all the time off work or whatever to kind of to plan, right? So this just made it so easy, right? You know, another one would be if you've got any specific ideas that you want to kind of implement in your wedding, just kind of collect those, right? So what we'll be using, like Pinterest or something,
Instagram.
a little bit girly, right? Yeah. So I was like cruising through Pinterest, looking at flowers and napkins and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But having those pictures is really going to help you, especially if you're going to a country where it's not kind of a English native language speaking country, if that makes sense. You know, if you're going there, sometimes pictures are going to really help you out of a tough spot, right? You know, another one is like embrace the culture, right? So, you know, if you're going to Japan, right, consider having like a you know, a shrine wedding, right? You know, it was I know we had a shrine wedding because of you know, Maria's part Shinto religion, right? You know, but really, I mean, for me, I mean, I'm not you know, particularly that way inclined, right? But it was amazing, you know, like it was a really special experience. And you know, I think the other one, you know, is to budget realistically, right? So you know, I think when we first started looking, you know, we had a budget of like, you know, 40,000 dirhams, and then it crept up to 50,000, and then it crept up to 60, 65. And I think that, you know, you just need to kind of, you know, you really need to just consider where you're getting married and the kind of how many guests that you're having and all of that stuff, and just budget for that, right? So, you know, I mean, we truly had an unforgettable experience on our wedding day. And you know, we just hope some of this information can help you on your journey. Okay, so subscribe to our channel. I'm just kidding, right? But if you enjoyed what you saw on the video, we'd really appreciate it if you could drop us a like, you know, maybe subscribe. You know, we're really enjoying making these videos, and you know, it would just mean the world to us.
If you have any questions about Tokyo wedding or shrine wedding, please leave a comment.
Yeah, 100%.
We'd love to hear.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, other than that, you know, thanks so much for watching, and sayonara.
Bye bye.